Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a new LNG taxi vlogging podcast. Yes, I'm finally doing the vlogging. Now Gary's got me trying to do it. So it's the first one. It's New Year's Eve. It's 5:25 in the afternoon. And we're going to see how it goes tonight. So we're looking forward to hopefully a busy and prosperous evening. It feels kind of weird doing one of these things without Gary next to me. But I believe he's taking the night off tonight. And he's going partying somewhere. So wherever you are tonight, Gary, enjoy. I'm sure you'll be watching these videos when they come out, like I've been watching yours. This is all new for us. This vlogging, this is the new way the LNG Taxi podcast is going to be going a little bit. We'll still be doing the normal podcast and stuff, and we're going to be doing these vlogging videos as we're going. Just that I'm a bit more limited than what Gary is. Gary can show you most of the country. I'm still going to be showing you like North Liverpool. So folks, we're in Southport. About 8:25. We're doing all right so far, not doing too bad. So the lovely seaside town of Southport. You want to get yourself up here for the air shows. Had a good laugh. So we're making our way back to Formby right now. So from Southport to Formby, unless we get another job in the meantime. Beautiful part of the world up here, especially in the daytime. Having to drive with that bloody thing of mine in the corner. So far we've had a lot of normal people. No one questioning why the fares are so high tonight. You might be able to see, if they let a few more off, a few more fireworks in the distance. So this hotel on the left hand side of us here is called the Royal Clifton Hotel. A little bit of a scary hotel, so I've heard. I believe there's been a few spooky goings on in there. So we go a bit further down here. On the left hand side is Splash World, and on the right hand side is Southport Pleasureland, which is absolutely pointless me telling you this because it's in the dark. So how are we doing? Here we are back on the road. So at this moment in time we are now in Netherton, and we're going to be taking a little drive over to West Derby. So just did a bus job and dropped off here in Netherton. It's quite nice with the fact that we're on double time tonight. Be interested to know what a lot of the other taxi firms around Britain and the world charge at times like this.
This is exported any time between 7 to 7.30. Just didn't have any other bookings heading that way, so early better for us. X.
Crazy little message just got on my system. Yeah, so we're going across now to West Derby, where it's a two-part pickup that we're doing. Both going to the same place. People still out with the Christmas lights. One thing I'm going to have to invest in on these vlogging things is possibly a bit more of a stable camera, or at least camera holder. Oh, blimey. So when I tell you people that I drive a bus, I drive a Mercedes Viano minibus. It's got 7 seats. And the way we do things up here, I don't know whether a lot of you do it the same way as what we do. You know, you have a certain amount of people, like up to 4 people, you will be charged like a normal taxi rate, and then when more than 4 people get in, that's when we put ourselves on the bus rate. So it's nights like tonight that having one of these comes in pretty handy, because you can get a fair decent wedge out of what you're working. As we know, Gary's got the lovely white Toyota Corolla hybrid. Obviously can only fit 4 passengers in his car, but that lucky bugger's not working tonight, is he? No, he's out partying tonight. God help wherever the people are that he's partying with. I'm only kidding. He's a good stick-me partner in crime, he really is. So yeah, so interesting for New Year's Eve. We like a nice quiet night. Quiet by meaning we don't like irate customers, because we're going to get this tonight. I'll tell you now, we're going to get customers saying to us, is it double fare? Why is it double fare? Well, it's double fare, mate, because I could have been at home with my family tonight, but instead I'm ferrying you round and hoping that you don't be sick in my car. So that's why it's double fare, or double time. I think people really know by now that New Year's Eve, Christmas night, you know, you've got to pay fair whack. Traffic's not too bad tonight so far. I'm looking okay. This is the time when everybody's still heading to their parties or heading home. Unless you're like the young ones these days, where they go out about 11 o'clock and get to these places. Jeez. I remember on New Year's Eve when I was 17, 18, you know, there was a pub in Fazackley called the Copple House. We'd get in there, have a few, jump in a taxi, get up to Aintree, to a pub that was there called the Manhattan Square. And you had two clubs that were around the corner from each other. One called The Kiss and the other one called The Paradox. God, they were good clubs at the time. And as a dead set, we'd, you know, have our New Year's Eve tickets to get into either one of those places, but you'd be in a nightclub by 10 o'clock because you knew for a fact that at come 2 o'clock it was finished. Now nightclubs are going on till about 6 in the morning, 24 hours. Absolutely nuts. Driving through Bootle. So me and Gary have been chatting, and Gary being Gary, look at that crazy sod there, Jesus. Gary's the man with all the ideas, comes up with some whopper great ideas of how he wants to obviously take us forward in the future. Now, as some of you will know, who've been with us since day one, listening to us on SoundCloud and Spotify. We've just obviously celebrated a year the LNG Taxi podcast has been going for. So we're now entering our second year, and we're trying to start up a new phase of things to do and what we might be coming up with. Now, if anyone knows me and Gary, or heard us in the past, you'll know that obviously he was an 80s DJ, I was a 90s DJ. And we're thinking about putting our talents, if you can call them talents, together and having a crack at doing a retro discos. Now, you know, we're looking at doing it so like 70s, 80s, 90s, obviously the odd 60s thrown in there, but we just thought we'd keep it so like retro. And we thought we'd just, this is where we might be, you know, if If you want us to come and do a retro disco, you know, please leave Gary messages. We'll be doing them for all occasions. And it's just something that we're trying to branch out into and try and get us out there a bit more, and hopefully get to meet some of you people out there that listen to us. So been thinking up of some names, but we'll leave that for future podcasts when we come up with the name of these retro discos that we're trying to put out there. Hopefully it'll work. Should be a good laugh. We'll certainly try and make it a good laugh.
Broadcasting to YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. It's the LNG Taxi Podcast.